Have you ever stopped to wonder who's really steering the ship at a university or a college? Well, in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on that unseen force, academic governance. It's the hidden framework that shapes, well, pretty much everything, from the classes you take to the school's long-term vision. And today, we're going to make it visible.
You know, this quote right here, it gets to the very heart of a massive challenge. Think about it. One day, you're a brilliant professor, totally focused on your research and your students. The next day, bam! You're in a leadership role, and suddenly you're expected to navigate this crazy world of budgets, policies, and strategic plans. It's a huge leap, and honestly, it's often made without any kind of safety net.
And this really breaks down that dilemma. So often, these new leaders get almost no training. They're just thrown into the deep end, wrestling with these huge decisions they were never really prepared to make. It's a total mindset shift, right? Going from the freedom of the classroom to the high-stakes accountability of the boardroom. It demands a completely new toolkit of skills that, let's be real, you just don't learn in most PhD programs. Okay, so to figure out how to support these leaders, and for us to get a handle on how our own schools are run, we first have to get the language right. In the academic world, you hear 4 words thrown around all the time, often interchangeably: governance, leadership, management, and administration. But here's the thing, they are not the same at all, and confusing them can cause some real headaches. So let's decode the big 4.
First up, governance. The key here is that original Greek word, which means to steer. I want you to think of governance as setting the final destination and drawing the map for the entire institution. It's not about doing the rowing, it's about deciding where the boat is even going in the first place. It's that highest level framework of rules and policies.
So what does that look like in the real world? Well, we're talking about the big picture stuff. It's the academic council that decides what a degree should actually include. Or it's the university senate giving the final green light to a multi-year financial plan. These are those huge foundational decisions that really shape the identity and the future of the entire institution.
Next up, we've got leadership. Okay, so if governance is the map, then leadership is the captain who gets the entire crew excited about the journey. It's all about taking that big picture direction and making people truly believe in it. Leadership is about vision, it's about motivation, and it's about creating a culture where people genuinely want to work together to get to that destination.
And we see this all the time, right? Leadership in action is that dean who's championing professional development for their faculty, or the vice chancellor who creates an environment where different departments are actually excited to collaborate on new projects. It's all about sparking that innovation and getting everyone moving towards the same goals.
All right, now let's talk management. This is where that big, inspiring vision starts to get tactical. Management is really the science of organizing all the resources. We're talking people, money, buildings, you name it, to actually make the trip happen. It's about planning the nitty-gritty details of the voyage and making sure the ship is well-equipped and running super efficiently. And in practice, management is that department head who's juggling the teaching schedule and the budget, trying to make it all work. It's the program coordinator who's making sure all the courses are lined up correctly. This is the operational engine room that keeps the university running.
And finally, we have administration. This is the essential boots on the ground work. If management organizes all the resources, administration is what puts those resources into action every single day. We're talking about the execution of policies, the procedures, and all those routine tasks that keep the whole place from falling apart. Administration is literally everywhere. It's the assistant trying to manage a professor's chaotic schedule, it's the staff in the registrar's office handling all our student records, and it's the facilities team making sure the campus is a safe, clean place where we can all learn. Seriously, without good administration, the entire system would just grind to a halt. So, okay, these 4 things are definitely distinct. But, and this is a big but, they don't exist in separate bubbles. The real magic, and what really makes for a well-run institution, is how they all connect. It's about creating this seamless flow from a super high-level strategic vision all the way down to the simplest daily task. Let's see how it all stacks up.
This table is fantastic for seeing it all side by side. Just let's focus on one row for a second. Time horizon. Look at that. Governance is thinking in terms of years, sometimes even decades ahead. Management? They're focused on this semester, maybe this academic year. And administration? That's about what has to get done today. This shows you perfectly the different scales they're all working on.
And here's how that whole cascade works. It's like a domino effect. It starts with governance setting a big policy, let's say to improve student wellness. Then, leadership steps in and creates a vision for a healthier campus culture.
Management takes that vision and organizes the budget and staff for new wellness programs. And finally, administration handles the day-to-day stuff, like scheduling counseling appointments and running events. See that flow? It's perfect.
So let's circle all the way back to our original problem, that educator who's suddenly a leader and totally unprepared. Understanding this whole framework isn't just some abstract academic exercise. It has huge, real-world consequences. The stakes for getting this right or wrong are incredibly high.
This slide basically shows a fork in the road, the two paths an institution can take. On one side, without formal training, leaders are just left to trial and error. And that can lead to inefficiency, confusion, and a lot of unhappy students and faculty. But on the other path, with proper training and governance, you unlock things like transparency, accountability, and a much, much greater capacity for real effective leadership.
And this is really the bottom line. At the end of the day, these four very different roles are all pulling in the exact same direction. They're all essential parts of a single system designed to achieve one overarching goal: building an educational institution that doesn't just get by, but actually thrives.
So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. Now that you have this framework, start looking for it at your own school. Ask yourself, who's setting the governance? Who is leading the charge? Who's managing the resources? And who's administering all the daily tasks? Because once you start seeing these layers, you can't unsee them, and you'll have a much deeper understanding of how everything really works.